NMI men's and women's tennis coach Jeff Race has worked with the majority of these athletes since the young age of 4 years old on Saipan tennis courts like the ones you see right here behind me, where they will now compete as young adults for the 2022 Pacific Mini Games.
It's a thrill, and we've seen an evolution here.
An evolution as the athletes continue to compete in the games and represent their home. According to Race, at the last games in Samoa, NMI Tennis won 3 gold medals and 1 silver medal, meaning that the team are defending gold medalists.
Everybody's sort of gunning for us, but I like our chances.
Someone particularly tough to beat is NMI tennis star COLIN SINCLAIR. According to Race, he is the #1 player and ranked 600 in the world on the ATP computer.
He'll be the #1 seed in the tournament, and he won the team gold, the individual gold, the mixed doubles gold, and the men's doubles silver in the last games. So he's going to be very tough to beat for anybody. Anybody who's going to have a shot at beating him is going to have to really elevate their game and probably play the best that they've ever played in their lives.
Sinclair arrived on Saipan this week, traveling from the state of New York. He tells KSPN that he hasn't been back since 2008.
It feels pretty special. I got in yesterday morning, and just kind of seeing all the old places I used to hang out, my old house. It just brought back a lot of memories. So really special to be back.
The one thing he's still getting used to, the heat.
So we've just been doing practice twice a day, and just trying to get used to the heat. I was in Guam last week for a tournament, so I'm kind of getting back used to the island weather. But for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been training in New York, so it's quite a little bit colder.
Now something that doesn't take much getting used to, training on courts he started playing at 4 years old with his family, and training with Coach Race.
So my dad used to play a lot of tennis, and then he got my 2 older brothers into it, and so naturally I just wanted to beat them at everything, so I started to get into it, and then Coach Jeff was my first coach. It's really cool to come back and play with Coach and have him as my coach again.
As things come full circle for the professional athlete, Sinclair reminisces and shares what he loves most about the sport.
I just love the competitive nature of it. Like you're on a court with someone else, and one-on-one, you have no one else to blame. If you lose, it's all on you.
Similar to Sinclair, NMI women's athlete Asia Rollerson is traveling back to her home island to compete in the Pacific Mini Games.
This island is my home, and to be honest, it's all I really know. Even when the United States, I would bring my island mannerisms. I would always represent the North Marianas Islands. I would always educate people what Saipan is, what Tinian is, what Guam is.
Rollerson started playing in Saipan when she was 8 years old, and competitively on the island when she was 12 years old. At the age of 14, she moved to the mainland, but this didn't stop her from playing the sport she loves, as she is currently playing college tennis at Albany State University in Georgia.
It's a Division II school. We're in the SIAC conference. We finished 3rd in our conference this year, and that's the highest our tennis team has ever been.
With plans to continue reaching new heights, Rollerson found out she qualified for the Pacific Mini Games back in February.
I was already training hard enough for my season, so I had practiced 6 times a week, 2 hours a day, and plus weightlifting 2 times a week for 1 hour a day. So I was already training. I was just adding more intensity as I went. Now
that Rollerson is here on island, all she can say is that she loves Saipan and is happy to be home.
I love Saipan. That's all I could say. I miss being home so much. I miss everybody else. Like, I go into the store, I see like 2 of my ex-classmates. Hey, Asia, what's up? And it's really amazing because everybody's just so familiar with you when you're around here. It's like a community, and it feels like a giant family. You don't really get that feel in the U.S.
If there's one thing for certain, the NMI tennis team wants to be here and is ready to play their hearts out for their island.
I think that the great thing about being the coach here is that everybody who's here on the team was super excited about playing for the NMI here at home and made a big effort to get out here.
Reporting for KSPN2 News, I'm Adriana Cotero.